All right, I'm going to share a couple anecdotes about sizing, and inside of these anecdotes are some lessons about how to do it and what to stay away from. So one of our guys 2 months ago had a really terrific month. Complete outperformance. We met with him. We talked about a plan to bump up his size. He trades certain stocks where we needed to give him a little bit more rope on some of the cheaper stocks. So we ended up bumping his size from 500 shares to 2,000 shares. But we said only use 2,000 shares for very, very cheap stocks and very, very select opportunities. And we said, and I actually said this to the trader, I said, I want you to do exactly what you're doing, but I want you to go from your best trades, 500 shares, to 600 shares. And then I want you to come back to me in 5 days and ask me to bump you up again. But I don't want you to sort of go from 500 shares to 1,000 shares because you're not ready for that. Small bumps, very quickly, and by the end of the month, let's get you to 1,000 shares, essentially, for your better trades. And then those other ones a little bit more size, those select opportunities. And then what happened to the trader? Complete underperformance the next month, completely in his head, despondent, distressed that he has not made more progress. You know, he had done really well 2 months ago, and you could just sort of see him doing the math in his head. I should do 50% better the next month. And he ended up doing much worse. And, you know, perhaps even more importantly, psychologically, he was kind of a little bit out of it. He was down. And so met with the trader, had him do a month-end review, and he identified that what he had done is he had made too many 1,000-share trades. That increase in size that he received, he used it inappropriately. And so we said, I'm a little confused. We talked about going from 500 shares to 600 shares and only your best trades. And now you're telling me that you made too many trades with 1,000 shares. You shouldn't have made any trades with 1,000 shares. That's too much size for you. You're not, when you lose money at 1,000 shares on a good trade, when you're used to only the losses on 500 shares, that's really going to kind of get to you. And he totally agreed. He realized he messed up. And what we did is we said, okay, let's reset and let's do what we were supposed to do last month right now. But I think what this really illustrates is, like, this is a trader who works with a floor manager who's watching what he's doing, a coach who watches what he's doing, me, a managing partner who watches what he's doing, and then a team trader, somebody who's an experienced trader who watches over what he's doing. So he has all these resources. And I know there are a lot of people at home who want to trade bigger. And you mess it up. And you start to have a little bit of success. And when you mess up the sizing part, you get into a psychological morass that you can't get out of. And this trader has a lot of people to pick him up and a lot of people to say, you screwed up. And it's not you, it's not your trading, it's the way you attacked your sizing. We can identify this. And so, you know, for those of you at home, be careful about how you size up. And if you go from having a bad month, if you go from having a really good month to a really bad month, and you recognize it's your sizing, you're gonna have to straighten that out first. Don't say to yourself, I'm a wimp and I need to be able to handle trading twice as big as I did the month before. That's not how we do it here. It's 20% increments, 20% increments, 20% increments, 20% increments. Slowly build, slowly build, slowly build. You don't go to the gym and bench press 200 pounds and then put 400 pounds on. Or if you do, you would get the weight stuck on your chest and somebody would have to come over and lift the weights off of your chest. Okay? That's not what you do. You know, you don't go from running 3 miles regularly 5 times a week to 24 miles. You have to do it systematically. Another one of our traders I was talking with got bumped up, and I said to him a couple weeks ago, the trader who screwed this up the month before got himself into a tizzy, like that's what could happen, you do better. Let's just go 100 shares, come back to me in 5 days, up 100 shares, come back to me in 5 days, 100 shares, come back to me in 5 days, and we'll get you double your size by the end of the month. And so, you can really go from making a lot of progress to regressing by getting this wrong. So we'll talk a little bit more about this in future videos. Wanted to share some of the things that we're working on here. Happy to hear your comments about how you're working on your sizing. Shoot me an email, mbellafiore@smbcap.com. We'll talk to you soon.